If you're thinking about becoming a licensed cannabis business owner, there are some things that you should probably consider before you just dive right in head first, right? They do conduct criminal background checks into the criminal history of each person that is seeking to become a principal officer, a board member, an agent, or an employee of a cannabis business. And cannabis businesses, they can't employ even on a volunteer basis, right? Or have as a board member or a principal officer or an agent, anybody that is under the age of 21 or was convicted of any disqualifying felonies. And security is probably one of the hugest priorities. It's just that you have to protect the business, you have to protect the product, you have to protect the cash. Cannabis businesses are very cash intensive. And so a cannabis business owner is going to have to be able to implement appropriate security measures that is going to deter and prevent theft of cash, as well as theft of medicinal cannabis and unauthorized entrances into those areas. You'd have to be able to demonstrate that you have enough money to be able to sustain operations and the needs of your specific type of cannabis business, whether that's a dispensary or maybe a testing lab. Cannabis businesses can only acquire, cultivate, manufacture, deliver, transfer, transport, supply, or dispense medicinal cannabis for the purpose of distributing that medicinal cannabis to cardholders. And a cardholder is someone that possesses a valid registry identification card that was issued by the cabinet. And when we mention the cabinet, specifically for Kentucky, that's the Cabinet of Family and Health Services that has been tasked with, taking on creating this medicinal cannabis program for Kentucky. That does include out-of-state patients that have valid out-of-state registry identification cards that show that they have a qualifying medical condition that allows them to use medicinal cannabis. It's good to know also that your cannabis business cannot be located within 1,000 feet of a elementary school or a secondary school or even a daycare. And you can't acquire, possess, cultivate, process, manufacture, deliver, transfer, transport, supply, or dispense any raw plant material that has a THC content of higher than 35%. And if it was intended for oral consumption, let's say it's an edible or a tincture or an oil, it can't have a THC content higher than 10 milligrams per serving. Now, ownership isn't going to be for everyone, right? What jobs could come about out of this industry? Well, the cannabis industry is going to provide a significant opportunity for job creation. I mean, obviously, the state is going to need to facilitate the growth of this industry by creating policies that encourage the local community, the hiring of the local community. But some of the most entry-level positions that we see pop up as soon as medicinal or recreational use cannabis becomes legal in a state are positions like bud tenders and extraction technicians and warehouse inventory clerks, manufacturing technicians, HR assistants and staff accountants and operation managers. The list is endless, right? But cannabis businesses are also in need of IT support and accounting help and plumbing and carpentry services. This is the same as any other non-cannabis touching business. And so it's really a great upside economically across the board. Now, if you need help navigating this complex maze of tax and accounting or regulation and compliance, or you just maybe want more free information, send us an email at hello@420tax.com, and be sure that you're following our page on LinkedIn at 420 Tax and Accounting.